Care to Chat. Hello and welcome to the Northern Ireland Social Care Council's popular podcast, Care to Chat. I'm Wendy Austin and it's my great pleasure to host these podcasts. Real privilege to hear the stories of social care practitioners and social workers and their clients, and to hear too about the many different and important aspects of the work itself. There's a huge range of situations in which they come into play, from domiciliary care to complex areas like criminal justice, from early years to end of life. This time, social care, going above and beyond. Would you have associated a housing association with social care services? Well, me neither, until I had the pleasure of being at the Northern Ireland Federation of Housing Associations conference, which really opened my eyes to all of the different things that they do. But that's another story. Today, we're going to hear the inspirational story of how social care supports people to live independent lives. Specifically, how Triangle Housing Association helps Margaret Stewart and Emily Robinson to get on with their lives. Margaret and Emily are with me now, as well as Jessica Carson, who's a social care practitioner with Triangle Housing, and Claire Hall-Brady, who's Service and Social Care Manager with Triangle Housing. She's Jessica's boss, basically. So good to have you all here with us today. It's a really inspirational story, Claire, of how this does work and how it enables people to have lives that maybe 20 or 30 years ago would have been very difficult to even imagine. And I don't think many people would think of housing associations and social care. So tell us a bit about the kind of services which you provide and the sort of supports that your social care practitioners offer.
Okay, so the services that I manage is a supported living service, and the main ethos of Triangle is to build better lives, and that's not just about our houses in terms of being a housing association, but we also have other elements of the organisation. So we have floating support services, we have progression to employment services, and then supported living, which is where Jessica and myself both work, and Margaret and Emily both live. And when I first came on board to the organisation 8 years ago, I didn't know that a housing association provided this type of care. So really, our role is to try to enable Margaret and Emily and all the others to live as independent lives as possible in their own local communities. And so we're based in our communities, and we live and we access and we enjoy our local communities, and that's what we try to encourage our service users to do, and to do it as independently as possible.
So what is supported living? Tell us how that works.
So our service users, depending on their needs and what support that they require, they can have support with every element of their lives, be that from helping them with their meals to help teach them skills in the kitchen to make their own meals or help provide meals for them. It can be help and support with medication, attending doctor's appointments, ordering medication, collecting it. It can be from personal hygiene support, if somebody needs help and support with that area of their lives. It can also be accessing jobs, doing application forms, filling in benefit letters. So it's a really wide ranging. So it covers every aspect of anybody's daily life.
Now, Jessica, you are a social care practitioner and you work along with Claire and with Margaret and Emily and the other residents. So tell me how you got involved in that and what it is that you do.
Well, leaving school, I went into tech and started studying my health and social care. So I was kind of planning on doing my nursing once I got that qualification. But whenever I was looking then for jobs to kind of help go on from that, I had heard about Triangle from a friend of my mum's. And whenever I had read the description of it, I thought, yeah, I think I could actually really get into that. So it kind of helped get me start off into a care job. And I had every plan to just keep it as part-time, or as Triangle would call relief. So you can pick up your hours and choose what hours you're going to do that suits, and it really helped me throughout my learning. And I just kind of got into it from there. And once I've got into the service and was working a wee bit more and got relationships with the service users, I decided, I want to do this full time, and I kind of pushed the nursing off to the side. So I kind of just really enjoyed it. It was really what I like doing.
Will you stick with it, do you think?
I can see myself sticking with it, yeah, definitely. There was a wee while where I thought, oh, I might go back and do my nursing, but not too sure now. I'm kind of stuck in the middle again, so...
There is, I suppose, one of the things that we've talked about on a lot of these podcasts is the career progression that there is now in social care and the different steps that you can take through that. Are you interested then in pursuing those?
Yeah, definitely. Kind of see myself trying to climb up a wee bit further in the service that I'm in. Just keep my head down and get everything done. Try and climb the ladder a wee bit more throughout Triangle, definitely.
And you'd be encouraging that, I'm sure, Claire.
Absolutely, yes. As an organisation, Triangle are very keen to invest in our staff and our service users, and career progression would definitely be one of those areas that we would like to be encouraging. And we do have those programmes available within the organisation. And we had the Investors in People just recently, and we achieved gold standard within that. So that's about the investment in our organisation and our people who are involved in our organisation. So for me, it would be one of the things that I would most definitely be encouraging for the likes of Jessica to make a career out of this, just like I did as well. I started out not really knowing, and I'm here, within Triangle for 8 years. So definitely something we would encourage.
Well, that's good to hear. So, Jessica, what kind of work do you do day to day?
Really, every day is different. In the service I'm in especially, you don't know what challenges and behaviour you might face that day, or you don't know what mood everyone's going to be in. But there's definitely common factors that you go into every day and you're facing. We're supporting the service users with personal hygiene needs, helping them make their meals, supporting service users with cleaning their rooms, cleaning around the house, etc. They love getting involved in that. There's 2 service users especially. The girls love going around and helping you. They'll say, do you need anything done? And you say, yeah, you can help us with the dishwasher and things like that there. They love getting involved in all different things like that. But definitely their favourite part is getting to go out into the community on their social inclusion day. So that's when they get to go out and they're, say, maybe going up the town, or if they want to go out for lunch with staff or family as well, if they want to maybe see if their family members available to go out for a cup of coffee, we help them and support them up the town. And if they want to maybe go a bit further afield some days as well. I know girls went to Portrush, was it, with a pair of staff one day, so they love doing that. They love getting further afield and interacting with everybody throughout the community.
And it's useful, Claire, that you're pretty central in Ballymena, actually, and going up the town. There are lots of nice shops, and you're opposite a shopping centre, so that's pretty good.
We are indeed. We are very, very central to the town centre there, and all that it has to offer then. Margaret and Emily are both involved in many of the clubs and activities that are available in the local community for really with regards to our individuals who have a learning disability diagnosis. There's more and more that is becoming available, so we do try to avail of all of those services that are available to us.
Now, speaking of going up the town and getting out and doing things, Emily, you're up early a couple of days and you're at the end of the day bringing home some nice buns and things too. Tell me about that.
I've got a new job in Dooney's Goodies, Ballymena, and I get to bring the rest of the buns home by the end of the day.
And you've got to get up at what time to get to work?
6:30.
That's early, isn't it?
Yes, to get to work, because I have to be on work, leave the house about 7:30, get into work and be clocked in before 8.
And do you like working there?
Yeah, I love meeting new people.
And you got lots of nice new friends as a result, yeah. So, and Margaret, you like getting out and about as well, and much excitement about the new Primark. There are other stores, by the way, but about the new Primark opening opposite you in September. How terrific is that?
It's brilliant.
So tell me about your life in supported living. I mean, how do you live there, and what kind of assistance do you get, and do you enjoy getting?
Before I came to live with Triangle Housing, I was with my family in Ballymena. I come from a large, close-knit family. However, I was having issues with my mental health and wasn't able to support myself as well or good as I maybe could have done due to these issues.
And what sort of a difference has it made being with Triangle now?
I get a lot of help. I moved into Triangle Housing in late 2015. I met my husband, who's a tenant, who was already there. Frank and I were married in December 2017, and staff both helped greatly and attended the ceremony. I enjoy some good relationships with staff and can talk to them whenever I am worried and I need my hair plaited.
Well, you've had it beautifully plaited today, both of you, in fact. But I'm feeling a bit left out here.
You and me both.
But so that's lovely. So you've been there for 10 years this year.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
You met your husband there. That's very much your home now, isn't it?
Yeah.
And how much of a difference does it make to you that you have people like Jessica and Claire and the other members of staff there that you can go to and who can help you if you need it?
Yeah, they're there if I'm worried, and if there's somebody that I can't talk to, there is likes of supported living that I can talk to if the ones that I can get on with are not on shift. I can go and talk to Jessica or to Claire or to Steph or to Ellen or Richard or Dwayne and stuff. So, yeah. And they support me every 6 months with a letter to my daughter, who is nearly 16 years old.
Goodness. Oh, well, that's lovely. So they help you to keep in touch.
Yeah.
And Emily, how long have you been there?
October 2021.
So that's nearly 4 years then.
Yeah.
And what has it made a big difference for you?
Yes, been able to have support where mental health, because I deal with a lot with stress. I don't cope well with stress, and I can find that I can talk to other staff members if I'm stressed out, and they can help me with my problem.
And you're much better prepared for this than I am. You've both come along with things that you absolutely want to make sure that you say, and you've been adding bits onto yours all the time, Emily. So what do you want to tell us about your supported living experience?
That I have made loads of new friends in Tower Court, and I love just getting out and about. I'm just an outgoing person in life.
And I hear that everybody knows you.
Yes.
You like getting up, going down the town.
Yeah,
and
to go to Primark.
and everybody knows you there. Claire, tell us about your experience first with Margaret and Emily. They're quite a number of years apart, but how do people become referred to you? I don't quite know what the right terminology is. How do they arrive at Tower House? Let's put it like that.
So it would be if individuals who have a connection or association with a social worker that has been involved in their lives, and a social worker would make a referral to us, and it would be really just the case if we have a vacancy available, if there is a space free and available, and that the person's needs can be met, that we can meet their needs, because that's what's important really at the end of the day. So whenever I first started within Triangle, Margaret already lived there for a couple of years, so Margaret was definitely showing me the ropes with a couple of things, and then Emily moved in then a few years ago, so I had already established myself there, and yeah, Emily got a lot of support whenever you were first coming, whenever she was moving in, with regards getting her home ready to be the home that she wanted it to be. So from picking furniture and soft furnishings and getting the place painted and everything, to Emily's choice, what that would look like for her. And you have a co-tenant, you live with somebody else as well, don't you? So you have a shared house. Yeah, so there's lots of Margarets in Emily's life. And it was really important then that mix is right then too, that Emily and her co-tenant can get along and live together successfully. And that's been really successful for you, Emily, hasn't it? You've been really successful in terms of your independence. You've been able
trying to keep my house motivated. Yeah.
And it's really important because you have you have a tenancy through the housing association, but you also get support from the support workers. So and it has meant that you've been able to keep all the skills that you have, but also learn new skills as well. And the same thing would apply for Margaret as well. You've been able to do the same thing.
Yeah, but also staff helps me maintain my house and help me look after my guinea pig, especially if I'm away from home. Come with me to medical and dental appointments, to go to the benefits office to help fill out and apply for different benefits.
Because those forms are a bit daunting, aren't
they're
they?
Bad.
Yeah.
So the job of a support assistant is varied when we look after guinea pigs for holidays.
You don't look after big black dogs by any chance, do you? No. So you were talking there about getting Emily's dwelling ready for her. What sort of accommodation are we talking about? I mean, is there a range of different accommodations?
There is indeed, yes. Just like in the general housing needs, the needs of a person can vary depending on what their needs are. So the likes of Margaret, she's very luckily living with her husband in a 2-bedroom. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a 2-bedroom bungalow. And then Emily also lives in a 2-bedroom bungalow, whereas the service that I manage is a 13-bedded property. So very, very different. But then we also have single occupancy flats, where quite a lot of Emily and Margaret's friends have their own flats and they live on their own in their own flat, and then they would have support from the support assistants coming in throughout the day at different times when it is needed. When it depends if they need support with their meals, then the staff will be there at those times, whereas if they choose not to have that support at that time, that's also okay, because ultimately it's down to the service user in terms of what support that they want to receive.
So Jessica, what's the bit of the job that you enjoy the most?
I would definitely say getting to build the different relationships with the service users, getting to know them more. Whenever I first started in there, it seemed all the staff definitely had all their wee relationships and bonds with the service users already. And now all the service users that are in my service that I work in, there's definitely bonds with each of them. There's not one that you can't go and just have a general conversation with, or you just know wee things that they're like, what's the word? They're just really happy, and you know their wee specific things that they like to do. So there's one woman in our service, and she uses Macaton to tell us maybe if she wants a biscuit or if she wants a wee cup of tea. Whenever I first started in the service, I needed other staff members to help me kind of know that. But it gets now that, you know, she'll come over and she'll just go, and that's biscuit. Or she loves ripping her paper and stuff as well. So she has a box filled with paper, and she'll just sit in the sofa and rip away at that, and you actually don't realise until you do it yourself, it is actually very therapeutic just sitting and ripping at it. But definitely building the bonds and getting to see them go out into the community is definitely my favourite part of it.
And like Jessica said there, you know, we support a vast range of individuals. So we do have some of our service users who maybe don't have a voice of their own, they're non-verbal, they can't advocate for themselves. So it's so important then that those relationships and those bonds are built with your support staff so that they can advocate on their behalf and they know their intricacies and their little quirks, where like Jessica says, you know, knowing that the person's happy, that isn't because they've been able to verbally tell you so, it's because you have picked up on their body language and their facial expressions and the sounds that they make. So in terms of the job itself, that can be very different because we have 13 different individuals with all different needs, some of which who aren't able to communicate their needs themselves, whereas we have some service users like Margaret and Emily who would quite happily be able to tell you what it is that they want and what they need from you.
Very quickly, I suspect. I mean, Jessica, you obviously find it very rewarding. I mean, do you talk to your friends about it, or have any of them expressed an interest maybe because of the fact that you are enjoying it?
Yeah, definitely. Whenever I was in tech, a lot of ones I was actually able to use whenever I was working within my service as my placement hours, and a lot of my friends actually found interest in what I was doing in work, obviously. And the more that you're able to tell them, they definitely do. There was actually one of my friends had applied and got a job in one of the services not far from us, and she really, really enjoyed it. But as I said, every service is different, so she had found it was a little bit different than what I had maybe told her from working in my service. But no, a lot of my friends have always found interest. They'll maybe say, well, what were you at today? Or was there any fun work today? Just different things. And definitely my mum and dad's the exact same. You'll go home and mum will say, well, was there any fun in the day? But without even saying who did what, you're able to always pinpoint it's the same person. There's different people have their own quirks and stuff, so if I'm at home, I'll maybe say that something had happened and I won't even pinpoint a person, and my mum will be able to tell, oh, that was the person you were talking about maybe last week or something. But definitely.
So you can keep that bit of confidentiality,
Yeah.
but still kind of spread the word a bit, so to speak.
I think it's whenever our support staff, they maybe go, like Margaret was mentioning the other day that she was away to see Lilo and Stitch, albeit she might not have been with the staff this time. But, going to the cinema is one of the things that we can support our service users with, if that's what they choose to do. Emily, you had been talking earlier on today about going on holidays.
Yes, we went to Spain.
And it was your support worker
Yeah.
who then went with you, wasn't it, and helped you to organise that trip?
Yeah, I enjoy getting away on holiday.
Oh, well, that's great. And how nice that somebody can organise it for you. And
Yeah, having no worries about organising things.
what about you, Margaret? Do you like to try to get on holiday or?
No, I don't. But I'm very active. I go to Ballymena Bears once a fortnight on a Sunday for an hour. And we're going to Dublin in September with Ballymena Bears.
Oh, terrific. Well, that should be good
So
fun.
staff will support us there too.
You do lots of trips, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the staff support you whenever you and Frank want to go away, don't you?
Yes.
You've been away for overnight trips for your anniversary and
Yes.
stuff.
Oh, that's lovely. You enjoy it. It's nice to get away, isn't it?
It is, it's great.
Just have a bit of a change of view and different
Yeah.
place, yeah. And you know that your guinea pig's being looked after.
Whenever I first came, my cupboards had to be locked for my own safety for my own protection when I arrived. However, that's no longer the case. I am now able to administer my own medication.
Oh, well, that's great. So that's quite an advance, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
And that goes down to your hard work
Yeah.
as well, Margaret. That's not
I
just
used
the
to be
staff.
I used to be on a 1-to-1, but from 2017 I haven't had a 1-to-1. And like for my daughter's birthday, staff will take me to like places that I want to go, like if I want to go for a meal, go for coffee, go to the cinema, do stuff like that for my daughter's birthday. Staff will support to do that.
Oh, that's lovely.
And that's what Jessica's talking about. Everybody is different. You don't know what you're going to be doing any particular day whenever you come into work as a support assistant.
I mean, if there are people listening to this, I mean, there are a lot of families where they're maybe very worried about what might happen to their child whenever they're not there any longer. And I mean, I have a very good friend whose sister was cared for by her mum and dad for many years, and then her mum died. But she's now living in a supported living situation in Belfast, actually, and absolutely loves it. Is that the kind of situation that you sometimes find yourself in?
Absolutely, yes. We can have where there would be planned transitions. Emily, yours would have been planned. It was always the plan that you were going to move out of your foster home and move into supported living.
Yeah, because I've always wanted it.
Yeah. Whereas we do have service users who maybe end up in an emergency situation where something has happened to elderly parents and they can no longer remain in their family home, the only home that they've ever known. And I myself and Jessica work alongside two ladies who that very much happened with them, and they were essentially going to be homeless without our support, and they came into us as an emergency situation, and they now live a very meaningful, fulfilled life.
And I mean, it was real sort of serendipity, wasn't it? There were two spare rooms.
It just so happened
next
to be
door
the
to
case.
each other.
It was
I mean,
a very happy coincidence.
Yeah, if anything was meant to be,
Then it was meant to be. Yeah.
I mean, those are really good stories, aren't they? I mean, does it go wrong any time?
I wouldn't say that it goes wrong. I would say that you have to have the right fit. There has to be the person's needs have to be able to be met. And sometimes it's about having the recognition that maybe isn't what we can do for that individual. And if the two things are not just matching up, sometimes it has to be the case that another service is potentially sought out for individuals. So for example, we've had some people who have been living where Margaret and Emily live, and their needs have changed and they have needed a little bit more care and support. So they have came over and lived in the service that I manage, because we have higher staffing levels, a little bit more supervision. So therefore they were able to be kept safe, so that albeit they had to leave their original home, they were still able to live within Triangle with their friends, who they would call their family, that they've been with for a long time, and the familiar staff. So a change of service is sometimes needed to meet the person's needs.
So there's a flexibility.
There is indeed, yes.
Yeah, it's not a kind of rigid structure that...
No, it's not. When Margaret first arrived to live with us, you would have been living on your own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then whenever Margaret and Frank fell madly in love and decided they were going to be getting married, you then were able to get a tenancy together. Yeah. Isn't that right? Yeah. And then they both had their individual flats, yes? Yes. And then now they have a 2-bed bungalow, so they were able to move in together, and there was the flexibility to be able to facilitate that.
Yeah. Well, that's great. I mean, tell me, Margaret, about the difference that it's made to your life.
Well, he is very supportive of my mental health, and he's there whenever I just want cuddles or watch a film or do whatever. He's there. Like, he gets constant demands of making cups of coffee, make me dinner, etc., etc., like cleaning house, feed the guinea pig, clean the guinea pig out and stuff. Yeah, so it's really good being married and have the support of staff in Tarcourt.
And what about you, Emily? What difference, how would you sum up the difference that it's made to you being in supported living?
I find it, because obviously when I have trouble and I don't cope with stress, Claire's helped me out with my stress.
Thank you, Emily.
And you've made lots of friends?
Yes.
Both inside and out?
Yes.
And got a new job?
Yes, and goodies.
I think we'll all have to go there. It sounds
You also have
good.
another job as well, don't you?
I work in a restore 1 day a week.
Emily's very busy.
You certainly are.
And I work from 9 to 5 in restore.
Great. So it keeps you out of mischief?
Yes, like yesterday I lifted a heavy sofa.
Very good. Well, it's been really great hearing your stories and hearing from you, Jessica and Claire, as well. And I suppose one of the things that we try to do through these podcasts is to give people an idea of what a career is like in whatever it is that we're talking about at the time. Supported living through Triangle Housing Association. Both of you got into it slightly by accident, maybe. You went there to try it out and liked it and stayed. So what would you say to someone who's listening to this and who's thinking, I might give that a go?
Go for it. Definitely. Give it a go. Try it. If you don't like it, then there's plenty of other jobs, but I definitely think you will. You'll love it.
I would say give it a chance. Give it a go. Give it a chance. You never know how you might get on. It's every day's different. You learn something new all the time, and it is so fulfilling and rewarding of a job. I won't say that it's easy every day, because it's not, but what job is? But it's the people that you work with become like your family as well. You have an extended family, and yeah, so rewarding and fulfilling within your own life. And I would highly, highly encourage it.
And the next time we talk to you, Jessica, say in a couple of years' time, you'll have climbed up the ladder a bit, I suspect. Maybe
she's coming from my
got
seat.
Some qualifications and so on.
Let's hope so.
Well, let's hope that's the case. And ladies, thank you both, Margaret and Emily, for coming and sharing your story with us. And enjoy your next holiday and enjoy your next trip away. And Thank you for coming in and talking to us. We've been talking about social care, going above and beyond for this episode of Care to Chat. It's all on the Northern Ireland Social Care Council website. If you want to catch up with previous editions of the podcast, you'll find them there. There are 3 series of them. There are lots of different topics, and I'm sure that you'll enjoy all of that. Do make sure that you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. You can rate us as well, good or bad, and make sure that you tell all of your friends and colleagues. Thanks for listening.